We think we know who runs the world. We see the presidents, the prime ministers, and the chancellors on television. We watch the bank CEOs testifying before Congress. We follow the billionaires building rockets and buying social media platforms. They are the faces of power. But this is a story about the face behind the faces, a name most people have never heard. A company that doesn't build anything. It doesn't sell any physical products. It just owns. It owns shares in the bank that holds your mortgage. It owns shares in the tech company that made your phone. It owns shares in the pharmaceutical giant that makes your medicine. And it owns shares in the media company that reports the news. This is BlackRock, and it might be the most powerful entity on the planet. So who really owns the world? The answer is far stranger and far quieter than you think. To understand this, you have to look away from the nightly news. Look at the flow of money, not your salary or your tax bill, but the massive, silent rivers of capital that move around the globe. This river is made of your pension fund, your retirement savings, the insurance policies waiting for a disaster, trillions of dollars, all looking for a safe place to grow. For decades, this money was managed by thousands of different banks and investors, but starting in the 1990s, a new idea emerged: passive investing. The idea was simple. Instead of trying to beat the market, just buy the market. Buy a small piece of every major company. This was done through exchange-traded funds, or ETFs. It was sold as a safe, cheap way for ordinary people to invest, and it was. But it had one side effect no one predicted. It funneled almost all the world's investment money into the hands of three, then two, and now primarily one giant asset manager, the one that started it all, BlackRock. Here is how the machine works. First, the passive engine. BlackRock, along with its few competitors, created these ETFs. When you buy an ETF for the S&P 500, you are giving BlackRock your money. They use it to buy shares in all 500 of those companies. They make a tiny fee from you. Multiply that fee by millions of investors and trillions of dollars. It becomes the biggest toll booth on the financial highway. Second, the active client, the government. This is where the power shifts from massive to absolute. When the 2008 financial crisis hit, who did the US government call to manage the bailout? Not a bank. They called BlackRock. They hired the company to manage the toxic assets from Bear Stearns and AIG. BlackRock was paid to clean up the mess. When the COVID-19 pandemic struck in 2020, the Federal Reserve needed to buy bonds to save the economy. Who did they hire to manage this unprecedented purchase program? BlackRock. The government, in its moment of crisis, outsourced its financial operations to the world's largest asset manager. Third, the brain, Aladdin. BlackRock doesn't just manage money, it manages risk. They built a supercomputer network called Aladdin. It stands for Asset, Liability, Debt, and Derivative Investment Network. This single system monitors trillions of dollars in assets across the globe. Rival companies, pension funds, and even the US government use it. It's the central nervous system for a huge part of the global financial world. It sees risks before anyone else, and it gives BlackRock unparalleled knowledge of the entire system. This is where the system becomes truly terrifying. The very thing designed to democratize finance is now concentrating power at a level we have never seen. Here is the central paradox. You think Coca-Cola and Pepsi are rivals. BlackRock is one of the largest shareholders in both. You think airlines are competing on price. BlackRock is a top owner in all major US airlines. You think the banks are competing for your business. BlackRock is a top shareholder in JP Morgan, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo. This isn't competition. It's a portfolio. How can a company aggressively compete with a rival when its biggest owner is also the biggest owner of that rival? The incentive isn't to win. The incentive is to keep the entire sector stable and profitable. Prices go up, wages stay flat. The market is no longer a chaotic battlefield. It's a quiet garden managed by one gardener. And then there is the government connection. BlackRock isn't just a contractor, it's a revolving door. Its executives take senior jobs in the White House and the Treasury Department. Then, government officials leave and get high-paying jobs at BlackRock. The line between the public treasury and the private asset manager has blurred. It's almost impossible to tell where one ends and the other begins. They are managing the system, and the system is them. So, who really owns the world? It's not a secret society in a dark room. It's a computer system in a data center. It's an ETF on a stock ticker. It's the line item on your retirement statement you never read. Power in the 21st century is no longer about owning the land. It's not about commanding armies. It's about owning the index. It's about managing the flow. BlackRock isn't an evil empire. It is simply a machine built for one purpose, to gather assets. And it has done its job better than anyone in history. The result is a new kind of power, a power that is passive, a power that is quiet, a power that is total. The lights stay on in their data centers long after the stock market closes. The code is still running, and the machine just keeps accumulating.